I'm Nancy Norman with Weekly Wisdom. Last week, we studied the idea that everything is based on law. We live in this world, and there are laws in this world, in this material world, that we must obey. And we learned that there are spiritual laws, universal laws, and those laws are exact. Those laws are exact. We live in a spiritual universe based on spiritual law. The thing is that oftentimes we're not aware of the spiritual laws, so we are becoming aware of them. Gardner Hunting, the author of Working with God, states that everything works under law, anywhere, everywhere, now, and in the future. So there is the law of thought and of belief, and it is always at work in our lives. In Unity, we say, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, or form follows thought, or dominant thought rules. Now, we're not talking about the 50 or 60,000 thoughts that race through your mind every single day. We're talking about the thoughts that you are holding in mind, that you're thinking about day in and day out, maybe even wake up in the middle of the night with a certain thought on your mind. We're talking about those dominant thoughts, and they do prevail. Another way of saying it is what we believe, we receive. What we doubt, we do without. I came across a book not too long ago as I was cleaning out my bookcase and library, and it is a fabulous book. It's called Tapping the Source, and it's based on the works of Charles Haanel, who wrote the Master Key System for Abundance and Happiness. Charles Haanel was a very successful businessman, and he wanted to share his secrets. And he did so by writing this course of study called the Master Key System. He created that system, and he wanted to share those secrets that he had learned, universal laws that he had learned. He wanted to share them with more and more people. Charles Haanel was not only a very successful businessman, but he was considered father of personal development. Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, was a student of Charles Haanel. Now, Charles was one of the originators of affirmations. He believed strongly in affirmations, holding those positive thoughts in mind. And he suggested holding in mind the desired condition that you would want to experience in your life, and to affirm it as it was already an existing fact. He recommends that we hold those positive thoughts in mind. And I want to just share with you what he says. He says, it is our attitude of mind towards life which determines our experiences. If we expect nothing, we shall have nothing. If we demand much, we shall receive the greater portion. I love that. It is our attitude of mind towards life which determines our experiences. If we expect nothing, we shall have nothing. If we demand much, make a demand upon the universe, we shall receive the greater portion. Well, Charles felt that it was always important to, and an inspiration, to hear from someone who actually put these principles into practice. So in his book, The Master Key System, he shares a letter from a man by the name of Frederick Ellis Andrews. And Frederick Ellis Andrews states that as a 13-year-old boy, he was crippled, he was deformed, he crawled on the floor, he had one illness after another, and the doctors had just given up. So he said he built, at 13 years old, he began to build up an affirmation for himself, taking the qualities that he most wanted and needed, and he affirmed those qualities, and he affirmed those qualities, and he affirmed those qualities for himself over and over and over. The affirmation that he came up with was, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. That says it all. That says it all. That affirmation was on his lips the last thing before he went to sleep, and the first thing when he awakened in the morning. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Well, Frederick not only affirmed that affirmation for himself, but he affirmed it for others also. And he said that whatever you desire for yourself, affirm it for others, because we reap what we sow. If we send out thoughts of love and health, they return to us like bread cast upon the waters. But, he said, if we send out thoughts of fear, worry, jealousy, anger, hate, we will reap the results in our own lives. Well, he affirmed that over and over. He became healthy, well, did very well, was successful in all that he did because of that affirmation. Now, Charles Hannell thinks that that affirmation is the best affirmation we could use. And he says, the affirmation, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy, will bring about harmonious conditions. The reason for this is because the affirmation is in strict accordance with the truth. And when truth appears, every form of error or discord must necessarily disappear. He goes on to say that we have every right to say we're perfect because God's entire creation is perfect, and we are an expression of that perfection once we put aside self-judgment. Likewise, he says whole, when we allow ourselves to realize our true oneness with our Creator. We're certainly strong and powerful when we reconnect with that infinite power source. We're loving when we learn to focus our attention habitually on positive, compassionate directions. And we're harmonious and happy when we master the fine art of holding our focus inward to our true infinite unity with universal mind. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Let's take that affirmation together this week. Say it first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and throughout the day. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you next week.